Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, welcome. It's family Ramadan again. We're here, we're doing the art challenge. Hope you guys are well. SubhanAllah, one whole third of Ramadan has gone. 10 days pretty much past today. SubhanAllah, how quickly is it going? Now, first of all, last week's response. I've got to talk about last week's response. SubhanAllah, it was absolutely fantastic. Okay, we've got people sending in messages on the WhatsApp, emails, yeah, some amazing pictures. Okay, and our barista twister, Shams, unfortunately can't be with me here today, but he has actually done what he said. He's made his own painting with homemade paint. It looks excellent, mashallah. And we're actually going to announce the winner of that competition and who's going to come away with that with Shams's creation, okay, at the end of the show. So stick around for that. We're also going to be showcasing some of your artwork at the end of the show as well, inshallah. So today, what have we got in store? We've got in store today an art project. It's suitable for all ages, okay? So really young kids can have a go, and the older ones, I've got a little bit of an extra, if you like, in order to make it a bit more challenging for those older kids, so everybody can have a go. We're going to be making our own modelling clay, okay? We're making our own modelling clay, and as always, household items, okay? I never go out and buy new things for my little art challenges, so household stuff, I want you guys to follow along with me, okay? You guys to follow along with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the ingredients that you need right now, okay? Just before we start, so that you can quickly rush off and get somebody to rush off and grab the stuff that you need, okay? So you're going to need flour, okay? You're going to need salt, oil, and a little bit of water, okay? Flour, salt, oil, and a little bit of water. And also, if you want, from last week, our good old food colouring, okay? Just to keep it interesting, all right? So that's all you need. And the best thing about this is there's no cooking, okay? You don't need a stove. You don't need to be in your kitchen. I'm in my loft, okay? So you don't need any kitchen facilities. You just need to have a bowl so that you can mix all this stuff together, okay? So those things once more: flour, salt, oil, water, and if you want a little bit of food colouring just to keep it interesting, okay? Right, I'm going to have a quick look at my phone and see if there's any shout outs for anyone. So AJ Ahmed is saying salam, Fatima, salam, Yasin. How's everyone doing? We're doing great. Well done. So keep your messages coming in. If I get a chance, I'll give you a shout out. We've got Abdul Rahman as well. Excellent. Great to see you all. Okay, keep it up. Okay. What we're going to do now is I'm going to try and maneuver myself around, and I'm going to change my camera angle, so hopefully you guys can still see everything nicely. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a little bit over there. See, here's one I made earlier. Right. So what I've got here, guys, I'm going to go on my knees as well, just so that everyone can see me. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So I've got my ingredients over here. Okay. I've got my flour, like I said. Oil, you only need a little bit, so I've got the whole bottle. Salt, and I've got my water, which is just down here. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make this modelling clay. Okay. Very easy to make. All right. Very easy to make, but there's one really big point that you have to be aware of, and that's you've got to be very careful with the amount of water you use. Okay. So I made this yesterday with my son, and I followed the recipe, and the water amount was way too much. So I'm not actually going to tell you how much water you need. You have to sort of play it by eye, okay? But I'll show you as we're going along, okay? So I'm going to bring this round. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see it nicely. There you go. Let's get going. So I've got my trusty measuring utensils, okay? I'm going to use the tablespoon size measuring utensil. You guys can just use a normal tablespoon. Not a problem at all. Keep my phone close in case I've got any shout outs. Okay, right. So I'm going to use about 7 tablespoons worth of flour. Okay. Now, depending on how much modelling clay you want to have at the end of it, you can use more or you can use less. Okay, so it's up to you. But I'm just going to use about 6 or 7. Okay, and what that will do is that will give me a nice amount to sort of like play around with, and hopefully I'll be able to create a few different colours as well. All right, so that's the intention. So I've got 2 there. 3. So like I say, you guys, I want you to follow along with me, okay? It's so inspiring seeing, you know, whole families getting involved. So that's really great. So if you are there with your family, okay, get one of them to run and grab your ingredients. Like I say, this is just normal flour. I've lost count. I think I'm on 5, okay? So we'll go with 2 more, 6, and we'll leave it at 6, actually. We'll leave it at 6, just for time, okay? Right, so that's my flour there, okay? Now I'm going to put this aside so it's nice and out of the way. Okay. Now to this flour, I need to add some salt, and the reason you add the salt is it actually helps with preserving it. Okay. Obviously, you don't want to keep this for like, you know, ages and ages, but it'll keep for like, you know, a week or so. So what I'm going to use for the salt is I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons. Okay. So last time I made this, I used just over a tablespoon, and now I recommend that you use a little bit more just to make sure that, you know, it keeps it from going bad and stuff. So a couple of tablespoons of your salt, chuck it in there. I'm going to do actually 1.5 of salt. Nice. Okay. Now, your oil. You don't need too much oil, okay? Teaspoon's worth or a little bit more. Just gives it a little bit of like, you know, a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of gloss, okay? Stops it from drying out. So I'm going with a teaspoon, okay? Teaspoon of oil in there, right? And that's pretty much all you need for the oil, okay? Teaspoon of oil. Now, if you wanted, you could put food colouring in right now, okay? So I've got my liquid food colouring, my blue one, okay, which comes out really nicely. You could put food colouring in right now, but if you don't want to, you can hold off and you can actually put in some of the powdered food colouring once you've made the clay, okay? And I actually prefer this because if you want to make sort of like little planets or like a solar system type thing, okay, putting in the powdered food colouring once you've actually made the entire dough comes out really nicely, and that's actually what I'm going to do. But if you wanted to, you could put in a little bit of this right now, okay? So I'm going to go to my phone. I'm going to see if I've got any comments. Hi, I can't view. Why, what happened to you? Quiz 6 p.m. Okay, some people are asking about quizzes at 6 p.m. guys. Right, so the water. Now the water, you have to be very, very sparing, okay, and slowly add it in, because if you add in too much water too early, ask your mums, yeah, that make like, you know, roti and stuff like that, it goes very, very sticky, okay, and it's a little bit of a disaster. So you only need to add a little bit. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of water, maybe like tablespoon's worth or so. Yep. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir. And then what I'm going to do is, as I'm stirring it, yep, I'm just going to add a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, so I'll put a bit more in there. So all I've got in this mixture at the moment is just flour, salt, oil, and water. Okay, that's it. And as you can see now, my dough is starting to come together. Yep. I'm being very cautious with the water. If you put more, like too much water in, it's not a problem at all. You just have to add more flour. Okay. So if you do, like, you know, accidentally put a little bit extra or something like that, don't worry about it. Okay. You just got to add a bit more flour, and then you'll start to get the right consistency. Okay. So we're going to be stirring this around. Like I say, I don't want to get it all over my fingers and stuck onto my hands. That's why I'm being a little bit cautious with my water content. Okay, just gently adding it all in there. Now, I'm going to set you guys another little challenge. Okay, as always, every week we'll have like a little project, and then we'll have a little challenge that will go with it. This week's challenge is obviously to make something out of your modelling clay. Okay, I'm going to show you how to set the foundations for making a structure. Okay, so you're going to set the foundations of how to make a structure. We're not actually going to make a structure today. I'm going to show you, if you wanted to make one, some little hacks and tricks that you could do to be able to make a structure. Okay, so my one's coming along really nicely now, and as you can see, it starts to come together. Okay, like I say, your parents at home will probably know much better about, you know, the consistency of dough and when it's good. They say that, like, you know, you should be able to get it so that the bowl is clean, yeah, because the dough, like, you know, picks up all the bits of flour and stuff like that. And as you can see, I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there with this. Now, again, because I don't want to get it all over my fingers, I'm being a bit extra cautious. What I would normally do now is just chuck it out onto my table, and then I can actually start working with it from there. So I'm going to give it a little poke. Seems quite good, okay? And just keep working it around, right? Now, if you think, oh, it's a little bit dry, yeah, then what you can do, you can just add a little bit more flour, okay? So I'm going to put that down there. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit more flour. That's a little pinch. There we go. Right, now I'm going to get in there with my hands, okay? So I'm going to get in there with my hands, give it a little work around. Looking really good, actually. I've done quite well this time. That's the benefit of rehearsals, you know. Right, okay. So I think I'm doing quite well. I'm going to stand up for this bit, okay? Now, you can put a bit of flour on your surface. Okay, I'm just using like a little table, but you guys can do it in your kitchens and things like that, which might be a bit better, okay? So you just work it. Now, this is a proper workout, okay? I've got loads of respect for the ladies, yeah, that you know, do all the cooking, because when I made this yesterday, I had backache, my arms were stiff, yeah, I was losing it, right? So you just work it a little bit. You don't have to work it too much. The more you work it, the more elastic it will get, yeah, and the more you can do with it, right? So you just keep working it. If you find it sticking, just get a bit extra, you know, flour, and you just work it around like that, okay? So now you want it to be, you want it to have some flex, yeah. You want it to be, you know, workable, but you don't want it to be so sticky that it's like really sticking to your hands. Okay, so that's the sort of consistency that you want. So I'm just working it around, picking up any more flour. I think I might need a little bit more flour. I've got some here in my bowl, so I'm just going to roll it around in my bowl, get it nicely coated with the extra flour. Yeah, you can see it there. Nice. Okay, so I work that, and I've got my dough looking pretty good there. Okay, there you go. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm now going to add my colouring to it. Okay. Now I'm not going to use my my blue one because it's going to be a little bit messy, and I'll recommend that you put any liquid food colourings into the mixture. Okay. But if you've got the powdered ones, then they're really good to use with the dough like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to split it in half. Obviously, if you've got more food colourings, you can use more. And I should add, if you haven't got food colourings, you can just use your coffee, like last time, okay? Works really good as well. So I'm going to open up my dough like this, yeah, nice and flat. I'll put a little bit of flour on the bottom just so that I can, you know, use it. And I'll go with the red. Red comes out really nice. Crack that open. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit. Now, what I do is a little hack, if you like. When I use a spoon, I use the back of the spoon, not the main bit. Yeah, because you only need a little bit. Okay. So just take a little bit of the food colouring. Okay. Not even a teaspoon, just a little bit, and I'll put it in the middle of my dough like this. Okay. So I just take it on the back of my spoon. Yeah, on the end of my spoon, I'll just put it there into the middle of my dough. If you need a bit more, just to show you again, take it, just plop it on there. Okay. Now, if you want to make planets, this is fantastic. Okay, because it comes out really, really nicely. Right. So all you're going to do first of all is you're going to fold it up so that now your food colouring's inside. You might get a bit on your hands, so you do need to be careful. That's why I've got my kitchen roll there. And then you start working it. Okay, you start working it, and what will happen is that food colouring that's inside is going to start coming to the top. Okay, as you're working it. And if you find that it's a little bit powdery, just add a bit of water. Okay, and what you can do to add some water is you can literally just either dip it in, yeah, or even just dip your hand in. Just add a little bit of water to it. Okay, but be careful of your furniture. Obviously, if you've got plastic or something like that, maybe put that down. And then you just start working it. Okay, and it takes a little bit of time, but eventually, for planets especially, you start getting this really nice sort of texture, yeah, just like planets. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a little work around, just so that you guys can see. And like I say, I'm doing it quickly because I've got a limited amount of time, and we want to, talk about prizes and things like that. I've got any shout outs? Iqbal, Maliha, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Omar, assalamu alaikum. Okay, great to see all of you guys getting involved. Right, so let's see. So that is what it starts looking like. Yeah, you can't really see it fantastic in the light, but it is coming along nicely. Okay, and if you want to deepen the color, then you just add more of your food coloring. Okay, just add more of your food coloring. And the same thing can be done for the other one. Okay, I could add my yellow, I could add my blue, whatever it is that I want to do really. Okay, now with this in itself, if you've got young children, yeah, this is your modeling clay. You can have loads of fun with this. So what I was doing with my son, he's only 3, and we were taking cookie cutters, like, stars and like different types of shapes, making them out of this stuff, and then he's like, rolling it around, and he's having a great time. If you want to be a little bit more daring, okay, and a little, challenge yourself a little bit more, then you need your toothpicks, okay? Now, you can actually use the toothpicks and the modeling clay to make a structure, right? And I'm just going to show you how you can do that just to start you off, okay? You use the toothpick as sort of like a support for the clay, okay? So I'll take a little bit of the clay, right? I might like roll it out a bit like a sausage type shape. Now, obviously, that's not going to support anything, okay? But what I do is I put the toothpick inside, right? I put the toothpick inside, give it a little roll around, okay? Obviously, you've got to play about with the consistency and things like that. And now what you're going to have is you're now going to be able to use that, yeah, as a supporting rod, right? And you'll be able to put more toothpicks and, like, you can start actually looking to build something. If you find that the consistency is a little bit soft, okay, then you can just, like, thicken it up either by adding more water or more flour to get the desired consistency, okay? So if it is a bit soft, then you can just add some more stuff to get it a little bit thicker, a little bit stronger, okay? So that is in essence our modeling clay, and this is what you can use. And I want to challenge you to try to make something, try to make some kind of structure. It could be a masjid, could be a house, some kind of building, car. Be creative, yeah? I've only got 30 minutes, so I don't have loads of time, but you guys have got all day. Try to be creative and then send your images in to the WhatsApp number. It's going to come up onto the screen very shortly, okay? So use the clay, use different colors, right? I've got my blues, I've got my yellows, whichever ones you want to use different colors, and then see what you can build and send them in, and then we'll try and get something sorted out for you guys, okay? Right, now, let's get on to our competition winners. Oh yeah, a little hack. If you've got loads of bits on your hands, just rub them together, yeah, and then they come off, yeah, and then you can just pick them up with the clay. All right, brilliant, okay? Right, so I'm going to adjust my camera. Hopefully, okay. So last week we had a fantastic response, okay? We had so many people getting involved, so I've got to give out some honourable mentions, and then I'm also going to announce who the winner is of the competition last week, okay? So let's see where we're at. Mariam says, Assalamu alaikum. So, welcome, salam, Mariam. Okay, let's have a look at who we got. So, I think we've got a slideshow that should be coming up very shortly, okay? With some of the, entries, some of the images of the people that have, sent paintings in. Absolutely fantastic. The creativity, all of this stuff. Okay, if we haven't got the PowerPoint ready, don't worry. What we'll do, we might try and share it in this evening's show. So I'm going to give you some shout outs, okay, to the people that did really well. Okay, so I'm going to give some shout outs to Rahma. Rahma has been involved. She was involved in the structure building that we did, like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. So excellent work. She's been getting involved brilliantly. Hadra's been doing great in Ilford, okay? Loads of interesting colours that she's been coming up with, which is really good. Umar, Bilal, Atia, and Mariam Reza, you guys were doing fantastic. They got a whole setup, they got their whole, like, a table laid out with plastic and things like that. So that was really excellent as well. Who else did we have? We had Talha, 8 years old, really good effort. And we've also got a winner, yeah, that we can try to, hopefully we can try and show that a little bit later on. something's happening here. I think we're going to be sharing the screen right now. Okay, let's have a look if we've got them coming up onto the screen. Here we go. Right, so just waiting for seeing if we can share that screen. There we go, brilliant. So I think that's Hadra there, yeah, and her paintings that you can see on the screen right now. You've got Talha on the screen as well. Excellent work. Talha, there's Hadra right there. Really interesting. I'm not sure what she painted. I think it was actually supposed to be a waterfall, so I think that's actually sort of like the other way around. Okay, you've got some nice ice lollies. Okay, brilliant work there. Masajid, some people painting some lovely masajid as well. Got one coming up. Yeah, lovely masajid, mashallah. So really good effort. You know, it's great to see people, you know, working together, coming up with these ideas. Obviously, you know, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, beautifully painted, very bright and vibrant colours. Okay, and this one is the one that really stood out to me. Okay, this one I believe it was by Yasin, Abdul Rahman, and Khadija. Okay. And what really stood out to me about this one was the fact that it was so vibrant. Yeah, the blue was just absolutely brilliant. Okay, so that's the one that really stood out to me. That's the one that we're going to get the prize over to. Yeah, Shams's painting. He painted a really beautiful masjid and like some mountains and things like that in the background. Really interesting. Okay, and the fact that he only painted that with coffee and the other items that we use for the homemade paint. So excellent work, guys. So this was our challenge. Our challenge was to make the modelling clay. We've made the modelling clay. Okay, I've got a little bit left over that I'm going to give to my son. We're going to play with that later on. Okay, be creative, guys. From the images that we received, right? I had some families. They were using coffee. They were using different types of powders around the house. They were using even fruits, you know, loads of fantastic and, you know, funky colours coming out, you know, things that I didn't even think of. So it's great to see families come together, great to see families being innovative, coming up with different ideas. Your task, your challenge for next week, okay? Use this modelling clay. Yeah, if you want to add a bit of bulk and depth to your structure, you can use your toothpicks, okay, to try and get, like, you know, a bit more of a frame, a bit more of some rigidity to your clay. And try to build me a nice little structure. Build me a masjid, build me a little house, yeah? Any kind of building, whatever you want, trees even, yeah? Try to be creative. I mean, if you can build a scene, that would be fantastic, yeah? That would be absolutely brilliant. So try to be innovative and send your pictures in, okay? We'll have the WhatsApp number available, inshallah. If you haven't, those people that have already sent in, you'll find it available. I think we've had a fantastic response so far, and I want to see what you guys actually produce. Okay, it really motivates me, it keeps me going, and it shows me that you guys are really interested. So please try and keep that up. Right, so what have we got in store later on today? Okay, we've got a few things that are coming up later on today. 6 p.m. Okay, 6 p.m. is where it's at. It's the family quiz. Okay, myself, Quizmaster Riaz, I'm going to be hosting, inshallah. All right, I've got some special sections, some special questions in store for you all. So make sure you're there. Get the whole family down. Okay, you've got cousins, you've got uncles, aunties, friends, you know, that maybe haven't seen the show before. Get them all involved. Yeah, share the link. Tell them that we've got a quiz, 6 p.m. Yeah, family Ramadan. It's going to be absolutely fantastic as always. Okay, we're going to learn something about the deen, some Islamic questions. We're also going to have Where's My Class? He's going to be back. Yeah, very popular segment of our quiz from last week. So please do try and get onto that. There's the WhatsApp number. It's coming onto your screen. Okay, make sure you use that, please. 077 477 9925. Okay, send your pictures in via WhatsApp. I'll say it again. 077 477 9925. Okay, that's going to be the number that you need to send your images into. Okay, like I say, those images really, they keep us going. They show us that people are engaged, that people are taking part. It's absolutely fantastic. Next week, we'll be back with another art challenge. Don't forget tonight, yeah, log on 6 p.m. We're going to have the family quiz, inshallah ta'ala. Please make dua for us. Keep us in your du'as. Yeah, just going to have a quick look at these questions. So some people are asking normal flour. Yeah, I've just used self-raising flour. You can use plain flour as well. Okay, it's not a problem. Ingredients, please. Ingredients was flour, salt, water, oil, and a bit of food coloring. Okay, so have a look there. How do you send your entries? Don't have the WhatsApp number. It's on the screen. Okay. Have we said the winners from last time? Yes, we have. It was Yasin, it was Abdul Rahman, and it was Khadija, with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala painted in beautiful blue and yellow. Okay. We will be in touch with you, inshallah ta'ala. So that's it for today, guys. Jazakumullah khair for tuning in with us. Yeah, don't forget 6 p.m. with the family quiz. Get the whole family involved. And otherwise, I'll see you next week, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum.